You mentioned that there was a break, and I've heard that the break was because of The Voice, but I've heard that you made that decision as a band for Danny to take part in The Voice.
Yeah, big time.
There wasn't a break for the band.
You kept going?
Oh yeah, there was no breaks at all.
No break?
Yeah, no.
Not as in you broke up, but there was some...
No, there wasn't.
Or any of that stuff?
No.
No. We
so you still managed to tour and do all of that stuff?
No.
On The Voice?
No,
I know what you mean. Let's clear this up.
No, I was clearing up. What I meant was we did not stop working. We recorded an album.
Yeah, exactly.
Meanwhile, while we were recording an album, he was in The Voice. It wasn't a touring thing.
You're like falsely saying how we split up.
I know. I was like, what are you saying? No. No, we what we did was that in order to take it on, Danny took the double job on of doing The Voice and of working with us on the album. So it was quite a big job because he was doing double shifts, and often he'd have to be in with The Voice all day, with us all evening, and often he would do a bit of The Voice in the morning, then with us all day. It was just so many different times. Fortunately for us, The Voice was pre-recorded initially for the heat rounds, so that was all pre-records. So while that was being aired, we were able to use that as a break from him and The Voice to try catch up on some of the work that we were lacking in. But even with all that, we got the album finished 2 months early. So while he was just finishing, while he finishing The Voice, we were out partying that night anyway. So
we're atrocious.
We're atrocious. You hear it here in Spin. We just broke up. We just broke up because we're Trojans.
Now, are you going back for the second season? What's happening with the second season of The Voice?
I think it's going ahead anyway. I mean,
what can you say?
Everybody's in talks. That's all I can say.
Okay.
No, I mean, I haven't. I've been asked to go back on, and we haven't signed anything yet. But we're going to see how the album goes, and it's not for a good while yet. So my mind still may be changed.
Okay, and I don't know which one of you said it. I was reading about your success.
It was good, me.
Yeah, it was really good.
If it was bad, it was Glenn.
No, one of you turned around and said, at the height of, your second album had broken the States and you had all this success, and one of you said success was ours to lose. That's pressure. It
may have been Glenn that said that because it sounds very wise, but I was quoted as saying it, so I'm going to take the...
Okay.
I don't remember ever saying it. I think Glenn actually said it, and I stole it on him and said it again. It was ours to lose. We had we'd built up to all this, and then you kind of look at it in reverse a little bit. You go, the world is our oyster right now. We can play anywhere we want. We can now afford any studio we want. Because we made the first album in a shed, and we felt incredibly lucky with our first album. The first album was essentially a lot of luck. How do we continue this on, and that it is ours to lose now. It can only be up to us. Everyone's waiting on a good album. We're about to deliver a bad album, So what we meant by that was, it was ours to mess up. So at that point, we needed to go in and just make that right and make sure that if it was in our control, this was the album that we delivered under those circumstances.
Well, your music resonates with everyone. One of my mates said to ask you, Break Even is her favourite song. She's like, were they watching me when I went through all the breakups that I went through?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. No, I think when we write, we just write about our own personal experience, and I think what we've figured out from the songs and going around the world is that every human is the same. It doesn't matter what language you speak. Everybody feels the same range of 6 or 7 emotions of pain, heartache, happiness, sad, mediocrity, the whole range. But we just try and describe them in the best way we can. And I think in trying to put them into the song form, it's great because other people it resonates with other people, and when you're talking about it on its most primal level, heartache and pain, everybody's been through that, so everybody kind of has that same. It's like, were you there the whole time just writing down? I was like, yeah, in a way I was, because I was just trying to be as honest as a human can be,
And just finally, how are you dealing with all this fame as well? People intruding into your lives, wanting to talk to you when you...
It's a terrible job, and it's even harder. They're all women. That's even harder.
And they're attractive.
And what happens after? We have to get up on stage and play all night.
Terrible job. I want a normal job. And they throw clothes at us on stage and stuff and all. It's terrible, really.
Guys, I really do feel pity for you then. I'll see if I can console you when we leave. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We really appreciate it.